Tonight on NAIT NewsWatch.
Inflation is on the rise, and the University of Alberta is helping students who are affected.
And our numbers have just continued to grow since the 31 years we've been open.
An annual NAIT event that celebrates culture for everyone to learn and reflect.
Leading up to the Day of Truth and Reconciliation, that we're allowed to celebrate who we are.
And some four-legged friends become NAIT students for a day.
You got to make sure that this nugget's in good condition. This certainly helps. It's very grounding.
NewsWatch starts now.
Good evening. As inflation rises, so does the price of food.
Goods and services are packing an extra wallop for many, and combined with tuition and for some, housing costs, this means more stretching of personal finances and adding more stress to students back in class. But what will happen to students who can't afford it? Our Zach Kenny joins us live from NAITSA with more on that story.
Well, thank you guys. The University of Alberta Food Bank program has been open for about 30 years now. And as it goes on, more and more students rely on the food that the program provides to get through their post-secondary career while also paying their tuition costs.
As tuition prices rise, the price of food follows behind. Inflation numbers in Canada have risen up to 7% from 4.1% just last year, meaning that as your groceries prices go up, post-secondary tuition will follow suit.
It just continues to go up. Right now, our record is 180 hampers per week, and our record in July was 130 hampers. So even in the few months that it's been since the summer, we've seen a large uptake.
Students who are either international or require loans to pay for the rising tuition could face massive challenges getting food for themselves, leading to a problem with food insecurity across the campus.
They decided we needed to open up a whole organization devoted to food insecurity on campus. And our numbers have just continued to grow since the 31 years we've been open.
As everything gets more expensive nowadays, the U of A campus food banks help students out by giving them hampers to use. These hampers include food items from every food category, and they take that stress of eating away from students. But the main problem that they have is trying to get students more informed and involved with the program.
You know, as a struggling student myself, things are already hard enough to pay for, like nowadays, and sometimes it's hard to get food.
The food bank program plans on making themselves more known as inflation problems arise. The program has been running for about 30 years, and as it gets older, the number of students depending on it rises as situations get worse.
Caitlin has also said that the majority of students who use this program are international students who pay a higher tuition rate than the tuition rises currently. The focus of the program is to take that worry of students going to bed hungry away while they actually pay their tuition and get through their post-secondary career.
And how many students does the food bank provide for in about a week?
Well, currently, students taking out numbers ranges from about 120 a week. Comparatively to 2020, 120 is about how much they get in a month. Further proving that as inflation arises, students can't afford to pay for their own food and the tuition at the exact same time.
So, who makes up the staff of the food bank at the university?
Well, Christine, anybody enrolled at the U of A can actually can volunteer for the food bank program, anywhere from full-time students to part-time students and even previous alumni. Anybody in the program was even at that school before, so they can relate to the people who use the program and create a connection between program and user, making that person, even if they are food insecure, more comfortable and they feel better getting food for themselves.
Thanks, Zach. That's Zach Kenny reporting live from the NAIT Students Association tonight.
You're watching NAIT NewsWatch, the next generation of news.
Gun violence is on the rise in Edmonton, and with this, the sound of emergency vehicles have gone up as well. Recently, over the course of 9 days, 10 shootings took place, with 5 of those happening over the long weekend, including on White Avenue. Gun seizures are higher than previous years as well, and experts say there are a number of reasons why.
When I started, it was a rarity. when you'd be dealing with somebody and they had a gun. And now, unfortunately, it's almost on a regular basis where somebody does have a gun. More and more people are armed, and we're finding more and more firearms on the street.
Stabbing and other violent incidents are manifestations of much broader social issues, issues in relation to mental illness problems, unemployment, even grievances, coming off of a 2-year lockdown period.
Oriola says taking guns off the street will help reduce crime, but says the social, human aspect is the root of these problems. Police are still investigating these cases. Class has started again for NAIT fall semester, and with no mask restrictions, some normalcy has returned. Students are back, and the NAIT campus is as lively as ever. NAITSA is hosting Welcome Week activities such as video games and ping pong tables with the goal of reminding students of how NAIT used to be.
I'm happy here to join the NAIT as it is a very beautiful campus.
Some of my classes can be online, so it's kind of annoying to come in and just go on a computer when I could just go at home. But other than that, it's pretty nice to see people.
You know, because I spent all of high school online, so much prefer face-to-face.
To keep posted on what's upcoming at NAIT, visit naitsa.ca. The prominence of a tall, sacred symbol of shelter on campus marked the beginning of an annual event. The raising of a teepee symbolized the beginning of Aboriginal Culture Day. Being in person, the annual event is a little more significant this year as a means for everyone to learn and reflect about history.
Leading up to the Day of Truth and Reconciliation, that we're allowed to celebrate who we are, because it tells people that regardless of what happened in the history of Aboriginal people, we are still here, and we should celebrate that.
Aboriginal Culture Day will begin a week of events on campus leading up to National Day for Truth and Reconciliation and Orange Shirt Day on September 30. Details of the events can be found on nait.ca. With the start of a new semester, especially with those who have been online for over a year, it can bring new stresses. NAIT has responded by enrolling a few four-legged classmates to connect with for a day. This is Chicken's Child, and their friend Chickens. The petting zoo visited Catquad this week to help ease the wild start of the school year.
I think it's really important so students get a chance to experience campus life and step away from classes and de-stress.
The grind is real around here, so you got to make sure that this nugget's in good condition. This certainly helps. It's very grounding.
The next NAITSA event with animals will be held on Monday, October 3, when Puppy Yoga comes to campus. The location of the event is to be announced. Coming after the break, we're starting a new segment this season where we want to hear from you.
As we heard earlier, costs are up for almost everything. Tell us your situation and you could win a prize.
Hi, I'm Lena Stevens with NAIT NewsWatch. Coming up, we take a look at the NAIT Ooks playing the U of A Pandas in a preseason exhibition game. And we take a look at the Oil Kings' upcoming season.
I'm CJ Pirtle, and although fall officially began yesterday, we won't be seeing sweater weather for some time now. I'll give you the details coming up in weather.
Well, Rodvi, it almost seems too hot outside to be fall already.
You're right, Christine. I haven't seen any fall weather yet, but CJ Pirtle might have some answers for us.
Thanks, guys. Fall is upon us, but that doesn't mean our warm weather is done for. In fact, it might stay for a while. For at least another week, Edmonton and area will have temperatures that are above average. So maybe hold out on busting the winter jacket out of the closet for a while. Here are our temperature boards. Calgary is a shining example of what the rest of the province will look like next week. Mid to low 20s for the daytime high and around 5 or 6 for the morning low. And in Jasper, it's 16. This is the coldest city of the bunch and a low of -2. Not quite freezing, which is very nice, so you won't have to worry about too much frost on your front lawn. And in Fort McMurray, a high of 18, a low of -6, which is just right for weekend weather, not too hot, not too cold. And in Edmonton, it's 18 and 6, which is excellent. So if you have plans for this weekend, really you need to squeeze those last few days of summer before fall really arrives and that, chilly weather begins. And that's your weather.
Weather is brought to you by NR92, the station for the students.
It's time for our question of the week in tandem with the NAIT Nugget, to hear your views on issues that affect you. Whether you're a college student or just have a voice that you want to be heard, we want to hear it.
Yes, we do. And voicing your thoughts can win you a prize. This week's question is about inflation, as we heard earlier. Costs are up, and we want to know how it's affecting you. Submit your response to the NAIT Nugget Instagram page at the NAIT Nugget, and we, along with our friends at the Nugget, will select a random winner for your efforts and opinion. Be sure to check out our segment and the Nugget for a new question every week our show airs. The Ooks hockey and soccer seasons are starting up, and the new team rosters are hopeful to pull off some wins.
And we take a look at who's in and out of the Oil Kings lineup for their new season. Lena Stevens is here with sports.
Thanks, guys. The hockey season is fast approaching. The NAIT Ooks women's hockey team got to test the waters outside their division this past Saturday and see how they sized up compared to a university team. The U of A Pandas faced off against the Ooks in a preseason exhibition game at NAIT Arena. Out shooting the Ooks with 41 shots on net, the Pandas defeated the Ooks with the final score of 11-0.
There's lots of team play that we're trying to refine, so games like this go a long way in helping us do that. Right now we're also trying to assess and evaluate our players and determine kind of what that rank's going to be for each of them going into our season. This was a really good game for us because I think felt like we started to come together as a team, which is probably the first time so far this year.
The Ooks are back in action this afternoon for another preseason game at 3:45 in Minot State in North Dakota. You can cheer on our Ooks here at home in their first regular season game on October 21st against State. The NAIT Ooks are fresh out the gate this soccer season. Both the women and men's soccer teams versed the Concordia Thunder this past weekend. The women's team fell short with a 5-1 loss against the Thunder. On the other hand, the NAIT Ooks men's soccer team remains undefeated so far this season, securing the win against the Concordia Thunder with a 5-0 victory. You can catch the Ooks women's soccer team gain redemption this Saturday at 12 p.m. with the home pitch advantage against the Lakeland College Rustlers. But don't leave once they're done. The Ooks and Rustlers men's teams will play right after at 2 p.m. Hot off winning their WHL championship earlier this year, the Edmonton Oil Kings are back and ready to defend their crown for the 2022-2023 season.
With their fourth reigning Central Division championship win, the Oil Kings were the first team in 3 years to lift the Ed Chenoweth Cup. And they're looking to do it again with changes both on the ice and behind the bench. Luke Pierce was named head coach after serving as an assistant coach for the Oil Kings since the 2018-2019 season. Also, new additions to the roster include 2 huge trades done by GM Kurt Hill. Defenseman Bryson Andrade and veteran forward Rhett Melnick were acquired from the Tri-City Americans.
I'm really excited to be here, especially playing at home in front of familiar faces. And I've been told that I'm going to get some opportunity, and I'm just going to make the most of it every night.
The Oil Kings lost critical players due to them graduating to the NHL, including goalie Sebastian Kosa, defenseman Caden Gooley, and their former captain Jake Neighbors.
We still have some older players on our team this year that are back in that locker room that were a part of things here, and there's a few of them that have been here for an extended period of time.
But they still have a lot of powerhouse key players returning, including Jackson Weeb and Logan Dowhaniak, both coming off a career season, putting up 36 points each.
Yeah, I think every year you got to step up and your role changes a little bit, and I'm excited for this opportunity here. And I think it'll be a lot easier with Luke here. I have a great relationship with him, and it's exciting to see him jump up into that head coaching spots.
Dowhaniak is one of 5 Oil Kings who attended NHL training camps earlier this month.
Well, anytime guys get an opportunity to go and be a part of NHL camps is fantastic, not just for their own development, but for us as a group, for their confidence.
The Edmonton Oil Kings home opener is tonight against the Red Deer Rebels at 7 p.m., where they will raise their 2021-2022 WHL Championship banner at Rogers Place.
That Oil Kings game is going to be a good one. I'm really excited to see it.
We're starting off the season with the Battle of Alberta. Should be a good one.
And looks like our Ooks have some great seasons coming up as well. Thanks, Lena.
Thanks, guys.
Coming up after the break, we cool off at the Arctic Journey exhibit.
And we look into a new way of gaming.
It's very active. In fact, a lot of people end up using us as their gym.
I'm Reese Andrews, and after the break, we're going to be diving into the land of production with some new plays and films that are debuting in Edmonton. Stay tuned.
You're watching NAIT NewsWatch, the next generation of news.
Welcome back to NAIT NewsWatch. It is now time for our Try This segment.
Our Kayla Labonte is kicking this semester off by trying out a new kind of gaming facility.
Hey everyone, I'm Caitlin Labonte, and today I'm at Activate. We're going to play some arcade games, but not your typical ones. Let's go have a look.
Activate is one of Edmonton's newest additions to the city, and it's one of only a few active gaming facilities in Canada.
This is a very active, immersive environment. People see us and they think it's a VR arcade, that we have you a lot sitting down in one single room, but no, it's very active. In fact, a lot of people end up using us as their gym.
There's 10 different rooms, and each room has 2 to 7 different game modes. Picking your game is easy. All you have to do is scan the wristband they gave you when you got there, then choose your mode on the touchscreen. Then just wait for it to tell you to enter. Now, let's take a closer look at a couple of Activate's games. First, we have their most popular game, Mega Grid. Mega Grid is made up of pressure sensor LED tiles that senses where you and your teammates are standing. You want to be standing in the correct color before time runs out. Next up, we have Hide. There's a couple different ways to play, but each mode includes you running around the room while pushing buttons trying to avoid the glowing eyes. It's a really cool experience. Honestly, all the games here are really fun. Every room is completely different, but they all keep you active and engaged. And at the end of your experience, you can scan your wristband and check how many points you got overall. I would totally come back here, and you should definitely try it. From NAIT NewsWatch, I'm Caitlin Labonte.
Just watching Caitlin maneuver through those games has me sweating.
You're not the only one. It's a good thing our entertainment host will be taking us on a journey to the Arctic to cool us down.
Reese joins us in the studio to tell us more about a new exhibit that just opened up at the TELUS World of Science.
Thanks, guys. I had the opportunity to check out the new exhibit, Arctic Journey at the TELUS World of Science. The exhibit is filled with so much history and knowledge, and I'm very happy I had the chance to see it for myself. It's been years in the making, and the public also got its first look this past Sunday. The Arctic Journey is an interactive exhibit that aims to educate people about the science and traditional knowledge of the Canadian Arctic through the eyes of the Indigenous people themselves.
If you're going to talk about the science of the Arctic, you really have to talk to and listen to the people who live there, because they have their own relationship with their environment that is different from the way we relate to our environment.
The exhibit took several $1 million and a total of 6 years to come to fruition and will be a permanent gallery in the center. You can purchase your tickets for the Arctic Journey at the TELUS World of Science Edmonton.ca. Whether it's debating the best Superman issue or discovering the newest Xbox release, there's community for everyone. Edmonton Comic and Entertainment Expo gives fans a chance to dress up, meet up, and celebrate in person. NewsWatch's Nigel Gale heads down to the Edmonton Expo Center to see this year's event himself.
The Edmonton Comic and Entertainment Expo is a hub of fan-filled culture. Here you can don the costume of your favorite character, finally acquire that hard-to-find comic book, and maybe rub elbows with a celebrity.
Edmonton Expo is always such an amazing exploration of everything geeky. So whatever you're a fan of in pop culture, you find it here.
The event offers fan meetups for many of these niche interests. Expo goers can join others in their favorite video games, celebrity panels with Q&As, or engage in an epic lightsaber battle. Watch your step though, you never know who you'll run into.
So much creativity around here. I really like the booths where
people have homemade things and it's just like, wow, you did this yourself? Like that, to me, that's the most impressive thing.
A staple of these comic and entertainment events is the costumes. This year, the lineup is very impressive. It spans from the dark and evil to Saturday morning cartoons.
We drove down here from Calgary to be here, so we're really excited to be here, and it's so exciting. I haven't gotten to go to an expo in a few years now, so I'm just really excited.
So I think you can expect to meet some new friends, you're going to find some new discoveries, probably find your new favorite show or comic book or video game, and meet some people who are pretty obsessed with the same things that you are.
We had a lot of great fun here at Edmonton Expo. Our wallets are depleted from the merch booth, plenty of great costumes, and a lot to see here. For NAIT NewsWatch, I'm Nigel Gale.
The line between news and entertainment blurs in the original 1976 film production, Network, which has made its way to the Citadel Theatre through a live performance. 7, 6, 5. Based on the Academy Award-winning screenplay by Patty Chayefsky, Network brings controversy to viewers as it examines the relationship with the media in a thrilling and unusual way.
It's ideas about our relationship to media and how far we will go to get good ratings or to get that kind of, social media that kind of thing is so relevant right now.
Network is a play you don't want to miss and will be showcased at the Citadel Theatre from September 17th to October 9th. Tickets for the production can be bought through the Citadel's website at citadeltheatre.com. The popcorn is popping and snacks are ready at the City Centre Landmark Cinema because the Edmonton International Film Festival is back in town and filled with fresh talent. Eva Kolners, director and producer of The Dilly Digger, is one of the many filmmakers who had the unique opportunity to showcase her production at the Oscar qualifying festival.
Most filmmakers don't make films for themselves. They want to share it, and to have that opportunity to share it with a large audience at a large, well-known festival like the Edmonton International Film Festival is extremely satisfying and meaningful.
You can support these upcoming filmmakers by buying tickets for the festival at edmontonfilmfest.com. That Network play was amazing. I absolutely loved it.
The film festival is really great too. You should check it out. There's a lot of budding talent there.
I always wanted to visit the Arctic, and for that exhibit to take 6 years to be made, I kind of want to check it out myself,
Yeah.
Thanks, Reese.
Thanks, guys.
From all of us here at NAIT NewsWatch, thanks for watching. Our next show is on Friday, October 7th.
Or you can visit us online at naitnewswatch.ca for updated news throughout the week. Have a great night, everyone.